Hey everyone, how you doing? I'd like to touch on some points. First being the energies that have been coming in. Over the past 2 months, it's been a whirlwind. Um, certain days, for days on end, I'll be exhausted. I'll be just dragging and feeling all different ranges of emotions, and it's just like an energy update, an adjustment more or less to the body as this is going to keep happening and may keep happening more and more, and we're being bombarded with all these energies. Um, and with these energies, if you just think back to, let's say, as I do this now, I'm thinking even like 30 years ago, 25 years ago, and think of the person that you were. Think of how you felt, how you viewed things, how you saw things, and how you thought about the world and all that around you. And ask yourself, is that still the same? Has it changed dramatically? Have you changed dramatically? Do you see a change in yourself? People you know that haven't seen you for a while, did they tell you like you've changed? You know, there's something different about you. Well, it's because it is. It's you're awakening. You're receiving all these energies being sent down, and we're all being upgraded. And there are some of us now that see things for what they are, and there's no turning back. And so many people they'll say like, I'm waiting for all this to happen. When's this going to happen? It's been happening, and it is happening each and every day. Look back 2 years ago to now, and things are different. Things are different in the world. Things are different with you. Things are different with your surroundings. You're probably finding that you're losing more people in your life, but you're also gaining people. You're gaining your soul tribe. You're gaining the people that you're meant to connect with now as we go forward and we bring in the new earth. So these energies are pretty strong at times, and yeah, just make sure you get out, you ground, drink a lot of fluid, um, and just go with it. It's difficult at times, I know, and with the energies, just try and keep going about keeping yourself active. You know, go out and walk. Let that energy start flowing through you and let it start expanding in you. Because, like I said, we are all changing. Our DNA is being upgraded. It has been, and there's nothing that can stop what's coming. Nothing. This world is going to be a beautiful place. It's just going to take a little time, and as time goes on, you're going to start seeing changes. You'll start seeing changes in your government. You'll see changes of how you live, how you eat. Um, just all different things. Like let's say, someone 30 years ago, anytime they felt a little bit sick, they'd be running to a doctor, and now they'll run away from a doctor. Um, just all those things. It's all telltale signs, and it's all written, there for you. Don't be afraid. Just embrace it and go with it, and trust what's happening, and and feel what's happening. Go with it. Um, Also, there's one thing that I was thinking about a lot when I first started getting more into this, into the metaphysical, and wanting to go to like meditations and things like that. I said I had thought about all this maybe about 15 years ago, came very close and stopped, and that just tells me it wasn't my time yet. And I remember the very first meditation I went to, and surprisingly, I was not my normal quiet self. I was actually, answering all the questions, and I was participating a lot in like the discussion beforehand, what was going on. A lot of people were probably like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And I remember one point that the person running the meditation brought up was asking if there are any bad Pleiadians, and I answered yes. And the person said, "No, there isn't." And I said, yes, there is. So I'd like to debate you on that one day. And I'm thinking, how would I go about debating this? Um, I could right now because, yeah, there are bad Pleiadians, there are good Pleiadians. There's a reason for it. We come into this existence, our soul, and we're meant to, you know, run through contracts and do things. So you could have a person, a human being, Pleiadian soul, who is bad because that's the experience that they wish to play this time in this role of Earth advancing. So that would be my way of explaining there are bad Pleiadians. Deep in the core of the soul, are they? Possibly not. I really couldn't say. I'll tell you what, if I could ever go and come back, I'll let you know. But it's just the gut feeling. Um, just from experiences of dealing with people that are Pleiadian here, they're not all good. So that tells me that, yeah, I was correct on that too. Also, people have a feeling of who's behind everything here, and I see a lot of people are saying like the reptilian are good, and I just wonder about that because I'm seeing too many of them saying that. Part of the problem here and the part of the control system here is based off of that. So whatever was here initially was not for the benefit of mankind and wanted to control it. Whether that was the start with the Anunnaki and like the creation of this form. And that's another thing too. If you get into that, people go, "Oh no, we're created by God. Our soul was created by God. This form, this meat suit, could be created by anybody." And I feel it was created for purposes of enslaving us and having workers. And it's an experiment that they put too many portions of good DNA into, that this form is actually a lot more powerful than what people perceive it to be. So I believe the negative influence is really what was controlling most here. And as the cycle comes through again, where in past incarnations this race was destroyed or almost destroyed, this time it's not going to be. The threshold passed for that, I would say, maybe 15 years ago, where this place would have been destroyed because there was always the duality in it where it was leaning. And at that point, it was leaning towards everything being obliterated here. This is my feeling. And I believe that was all turned. And that's why we're going through these minimal upgrades and all this energy, is because if it was all thrown out at once, we wouldn't be able to handle it. Our bodies would explode probably. Um, so it's being a controlled drop on us of changing back the DNA to crystalline from carbon very slowly and upgrading our DNA, activating the junk DNA, which there is no junk DNA, it's just been made inactive. Once all that starts coming out, awakening, so to say, people are going to find they're able to do things, or they're going to first probably see things differently, understand things differently, see through the control system, see through the division based system that is here. And if it ever comes out with the truth, that will expedite it faster, where people will start to believe that. And the more they believe, the more trust they'll have, and it'll create even a more faster mass awakening. Um, so, like I said, I believe that, yeah, there are good, you know, beings, um, reptilian beings too, but what was here and what was in control and what may still be holding on is not. And as the energies and the frequencies keep rising here, that energy can't stay here. It won't be able to exist here, and it will eventually just go off and away. The question is, when? Well, we all can help speed that up by presenting the truth out there, by not giving up on people, not forcing things down their throat. But I've even seen some of the people recently that I've been speaking to, um, they're questioning, but they never questioned before. And even people from the past who had me down and out right like a nut are now asking, well, how'd you know that? I see that these things happen. How'd you know that? Um, so I would say don't give up on people, um, but also just keep growing yourself, keep going within yourself. Let your own light shine. And yeah, don't let other people influence you. Don't let others' negativity. There's a lot out there too. There's a lot of people that want to keep you down, and there's a lot of people that want to hold you back. Like I said, there are human souls, there are hybrid souls, there are alien souls, there are animal souls, there are your everyday item soul, and each is growing at its own pace, and each is in this duality experience. So that's where you'll have your good and your bad and everything. Now there could be a pure soul race. Yeah, the person could be correct. All Pleiadians are good. Let's say their soul is good. Coming back here in this existence for an experience, no, they may not be. Maybe they need that negative experience to learn something that will enhance their growth. So that was one thing that it's been bothering me for a while. I kept thinking about it. I was like, if I would have debated that at that point, then I would have looked like an idiot. Now, no, I could probably do it because that's what I really believe in. I've always been one, especially the past couple of years. My gift is I get like a knowing. I'll get the feeling, and I know it's true. I'll feel it in my gut. There are times I'll see things ahead of time, and everything I have seen has happened. So when people start telling me, "Oh no, you're wrong here, you're wrong here," I don't think so. It's just not the time for whatever the event will be, because everything that I have seen, whether it be something 3 minutes into the future or 10 years down the road, has happened. Um, so I believe in a lot of other things that'll happen. That's why I know this is going to be a beautiful place. It's just going to take time. It's not something that's going to be overnight. And this is where people have to be patient because so many people are like, okay, I'm enough for this. I'm waiting for this. I've waited so long for this. Nothing's happening yet, but it is happening. And you have to understand that this is a control system on a planetary scale that has been put into place over time, slowly over time, for thousands of years. You can't just flip a switch overnight because what will happen if you do that? Then you'll have your war. Then you'll have your division in the street, your civil wars, your inner fighting. And what will that do? That will lower the vibration and that will bring in more negativity. It will just bring everything back down. The way that things are being done may not seem right to most, and I particularly don't care for it myself, but I understand it. It's letting everyone absorb these energies. It's letting everyone get used to these energies. It is slowly allowing people to come into an awareness of what is going on. And over time, I call it the 100th monkey effect, where let's say over in Africa, instead of a monkey, let's say, pulling a banana from a tree, um, it'll use a stick to knock it off. After X amount of them over in another country do that, all of a sudden over here, the ones will start doing it. Collective consciousness thinking, it gets put out there telepathically. And that's kind of like what's happening here with us. Because if you go back 20 years ago, let's say, how many people were really spiritually awakened. Uh, we're out there, doing groups, readings. I could probably think of maybe three from the 90s, like John Edwards, the person that I had mentored me in the, she's been out since about the same time, and maybe one or two other people. Whereas now it's, especially out where I am, it's hundreds, thousands, and it's growing. And it's growing because the collective consciousness is growing outward also. Quantum entanglement. Yeah, it's just happening. It's gonna keep happening, and nothing's gonna stop it. Um, this 3D world is already jumped ahead. It's going from 3, 4, 5D, 4D, 3D, all that at once, and it's starting to merge. It'll go 4D, some will go 5D, and at that point, we're gonna start to lose a lot of the negativity because it is a duality universe, probably for another dimension or two. So we'll still experience things like that, but it won't be to the extremes it was. It won't be as it was. In fact, it's like scales of justice. Evil is up here. Evil is coming back down now. You're going to go through a spurt where it's like this. It's good. It'll eventually start to level out again. And it's the lessons that are learned in between. And when you go to another form of existence, another leveling up, another awakening, you'll have to go through the steps again to get to the next level. So these energies will still keep coming. Um, they may come quicker, they may come slower. Some will feel it a lot more than others. Um, just try and take care of yourself, physically, mentally, um, and just keep being you. Keep creating. Keep putting the positive vibe out there, and keep putting the truth out there. So the truth is very important. A lot of people, you know, they'll just preach the love and the light, but it's got to be the truth. Because if people are constantly being lied to, they'll never know. They'll never hear the other side of the coin or the story. They'll never be able to think for themselves based upon information to decide. Because right now everything's being pushed one way, and there is so much hidden truth out there that is literally right in front of you, especially with the internet. You you have to really look now because now they're starting to play with that too. But there is just so much that once you look at it enough and you go deep enough, as they say, down the rabbit hole, there's no denying it. And then it's getting past the ego. Um, I'm too smart to be fooled that way. Bullshit. We all are. Just some of us see it now. Some don't yet. They will. So just just keep being creative. Keep being yourself. Uh, do what makes you feel great. Be kind and good to others, and be truthful with others. And tomorrow's going to be another beautiful day. Namaste.